Here on the pregame show on CISN, Paul Yeager joined by Johnston head coach Brian Woodley. Coach, last week Waterloo West comes for the first round of the playoff game, and if the score is any indication, it was dominant. From what I saw, the highlights, it was dominant. As you're not in the review stage now; it's always win and look at the next one. But what did your team do well last week?
Well, going back to last week, number one, we did come out a little bit sputtering. First quarter wasn't one of our better quarters over the last 6 weeks. Offense kind of struggled with a few timing issues, a couple 3-and-outs. Our defense kind of let Waterloo West take a lot of clock in the first quarter and drive down and actually turn it over on downs. But after that, we kind of settled in toward the end of the first quarter, and then we kind of got rolling, I think, and scored on maybe 4 or 5 straight possessions offensively, and really kind of got us going. Defense settled in and forced a lot of punts, which gave us great field position. And kind of from there, it just kind of took off. And we started really playing like we had been the previous 6 weeks.
Was that a little bit of nerves with the guys in that first quarter?
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was, overconfident. I don't want to say that. It's playoffs. We knew the importance of can't overlook anybody. But I thought, to play at the level we have since we lost to Valley back in week 3 has been pretty high. And I've been very excited and happy with our team. And, maybe it was just kind of a little bit of a letdown, but we responded and happy with the way it ended. A lot of kids got to play. We came out with it pretty much injury-free. And when you're at this time of the season, if you can say that, I think every coach would be happy.
We always start on the offensive side. Let's start on the defensive side. You've been known to turn over some really good teams and just make life miserable. What's working on the defense right now?
Hats off to Coach Jeff Helgeson, my defensive coordinator, and his staff. This has kind of been a crazy year. We are pretty solid defensively. We take pride in, what we do on that side of the ball. Coach Helgeson, we really preach a lot of stopping the run first and then force people to be one-dimensional. But we're making plays. We've scored 7 defensive touchdowns this year, which is unheard of in all my years of coaching. We've got one young man with 3 defensive touchdowns, another with 2, a few others with 1 here and there, but just causing turnovers. I think we're high teens. We're in the plus side of the ball, and it's putting teams into tough situations, and our guys are, taking advantage of that. But it's not just by nature. We practice hard. Kids work hard on turnovers, and we're just, the first thing you got to do is stop the run. And that's kind of that's the game plan going in every week. So we've done a good job to this point, and we got to keep doing that if we're going to win.
You mentioned Coach Helgeson, but player Helgeson's been pretty good too.
Yep, Jacobson, our Mike linebacker, the guy in the middle, makes a lot of the calls. 2-year starter, great kid, smart kid, and he does a great job there. It's basically our front 7. They got to be solid, and we're pretty, I want to say stout, but we're pretty veteran up front. We have a lot of seniors, and usually that's the kind of guys you got to count on. So that's kind of what we're hanging our hat on right now is that front 7.
Well, you talk of returners, Will Nuss, Barku. Also, you've got returners on the offensive side of the ball. What have those guys picked up, gained experience, adjusted as the year has gone on, especially since the last time you played Valley?
Well, go back just this whole year in general, we made more of an emphasis in the run game, knowing we had Will back at quarterback. D'Angelo was our tailback a year ago. And then we knew we had 3 starters coming back up front. So we kind of sat down in the offseason, knew if we want to get to where we want to be and win a chance at winning a state title, we have to run the ball better. And we put our hat on that. I feel we're physical up front. Our schemes and how the kids are playing, in this stretch run right now is where you want to be come November. You got to, what I always say, and I think it's kind of a coaching cliche, the run game and defense will travel. In the weather, no matter where you're at, if we can have those 2 things going for us, it's going to give us a good chance. And with Will, being a 3-year starter, we knew he could throw the ball, and we knew we had a few guys back that he could throw the ball to. But Will's done a tremendous job in taking care of the ball. We're not asking him to do too much. but he's keeping us in good situations. And like I said, if you're in the positive side of the turnover ratio, you're usually winning a lot of games. So all three phases have been working well together. But offensively, the one thing is we do have some big explosive guys that we do kind of score kind of fast sometimes. And then you got to put your defense back out the field. So we'll take it as long as we're scoring points. But the big emphasis going into Valley, we only ran 10 offensive plays against them in the first half last time. They kind of did a little keep away. Even though we were winning at halftime, we only had 10 snaps on the offensive side. So we know if we're going to win this quarterfinal game, we're going to have to possess the ball more. And when we do have an opportunity to score in the red zone, we got to do that because we didn't do a very good job September 13th inside the 10-yard line twice. Came away once with nothing. And then the other time, first and goal inside the 10, we got 3. So we really got to turn those into touchdowns.
I heard a cliche or two in there, old cliches. They still work. I still like them. They're okay, Coach. But one cliche in Central Iowa and all of Iowa and 5A has been a Gary Swenson team is always well prepared, well coached. But they have a different group of guys than you played the last time. Does that give you pause for concern if it's a little more of the unknown than it was before?
I think all teams evolve differently throughout the year. Yes, they're different. We're different. They've been dealing with some injuries. We know that. They've had their superstar, Zay out for a while. They've had a few other guys dung up and haven't been playing together. But I look at their team, number one, you're correct. Coach Swenson's teams come playoff time, they're always dangerous. You look at the last 2 years, they've been a low seed, come on the road and won a couple games, been in the Unidome the last 2 years. And, we know how good they are. They're very talented. They're probably the most talented team we play all year. Now we're playing it for a second time. I just do think the first time, now that we got a pretty good feel for them, I think we have a pretty good plan. I'm excited, and we know that they're going to, do some different things. We know Zay will be on the field again, and when he's on the field, he changes things. So we're going to have to hunker down and make sure he doesn't beat us over the top. That's for sure. Make him make some plays, and we'll see how healthy he really is.
All right, Brian Woodley, head coach at Johnston. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that's the Johnston Dragons involved in 3 of the 4 quarterfinals that are rematches coming your way next year on CISN.